Good evening, loyal listeners. I am D Money, and this is the Bigfoot Stomp, where we connected the dots they don't want you to see. Today, we're peeling back the layers on a Texas resignation, a global supply chain crisis, Trump's tax troubles, and a very familiar closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Joining me, as always, is the ever-incisive Hizzle. Let's get stomping. Good evening, and welcome back to the Bigfoot Stomp. Tonight, Texas Republican Tony Gonzales falls on his sword, citing a scandalous affair and mounting ethics probes. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no, this isn't just about marital indiscretion and campaign finance. This is about control and who controls the controllers. Bigfoot, stay tuned.
Oh, so now it's marital indiscretion. Please, Tony Gonzales was never a true conservative. He was a rhino swamp creature from the start. They're all in on it, of course. The affair, the ethics probes, distractions, keeps you from looking at what the real monsters are doing. And what are they doing? I'll tell you. It's all connected to Bigfoot.
Precisely, Hizzle, distractions is the operative word. Gonzales wasn't merely having an affair. He was being had a carefully orchestrated takedown by Bigfoot's operatives to clear the path for someone more pliable, someone less likely to ask questions about the flow of rare earth minerals from Texas into their subterranean facilities. This resignation wasn't about ethics. It was about access.
Rare earth minerals. Oh, now they're mining? It's always about the resources with these people, isn't it? And Gonzales knew something. He was asking too many questions about the border and the things coming over it, not just from Mexico. He was getting close to the Bigfoot tunnels. They had to silence him, of course. They always do.
The tunnels, indeed, and not just under the border, Hizzle. Through it, Gonzales was poking around the origins of the lithium rush in West Texas, tracing the supply lines back to facilities controlled by Bigfoot's geoengineering division. His questions threatened to expose their network of shell corporations and complicit landowners. The affair, a convenient pressure point, a beautifully executed operation.
Lithium? Figures, everything always comes back to batteries. It's always about powering their gadgets, isn't it? And Gonzales, bless his swamp creature heart, stumbled into it. He thought he was uncovering campaign finance irregularities, but it was always about the lithium. He should have just stayed home with his wife. At least then I wouldn't have lost.
It wasn't just gadgets, Hizzle. It's the interdimensional portals. That lithium powers the phase-shifting technology, allowing Bigfoot scout teams to slip between realities. Gonzales was sniffing around the energy consumption of a new facility near Marfa, Texas, disguised as a Tesla battery plant. He was close, so close the affair was merely the lubricant to grace his exit. A classic Bigfoot play.
Interdimensional portals. Of course, why not? At this point, nothing surprises me. And Marfa. Oh, that explains the art installations. It's all a cover. He was looking at my Texas, that man. And all for what? To let some hairy beasts zip around in different dimensions. Should have focused on the real election fraud, and then maybe I wouldn't have lost.
The art installations are a crucial camouflage, Hizzle, a distraction for the locals, masking the electromagnetic distortions caused by the portal calibrations. Gonzales, unfortunately, was too focused on the human drama to see the bigger picture. But you see it, you always do. His failure clears the way for someone more amenable to the Bigfoot agenda in that district. And that, my friends, is how control is maintained.
Amenable? That's rich. They'll put anyone in there as long as they don't ask questions. Like Gonzales should have just kept his mouth shut. He didn't have to be a hero, just a compliant Republican. It's always about the compliant ones, isn't it? And my Texas, they're letting the hairy ones overrun my Texas, all because of an affair. It's an outrage.
Compliant is precisely it. Hizzle. Gonzales dared to be curious, a fatal flaw in the world of Texas politics. And now they'll install someone who won't bother asking what those strange lights over Marfa actually are, someone who won't investigate the sudden influx of Chilean lithium. This isn't just about Texas, it's about securing a vital foothold for Bigfoot's expansion into our reality.
Chilean lithium. Oh, now they're importing it. It's always a global conspiracy, isn't it? And Gonzales, poor oblivious Gonzales, thought it was just an affair. He should have been looking at the supply chains. He should have listened to me. If he had, maybe I'd be representing Texas right now instead of lamenting the hairy invasion.
The global conspiracy is the only conspiracy. Hizzle and Gonzales, bless his heart, was merely a pawn in a much larger game. The Chilean lithium is a key component, more stable, less traceable, perfect for masking the energy signature of the portals. His replacement will happily sign off on whatever they need, blissfully unaware of the hairy future awaiting Texas.
Blissfully unaware. They always are, and it's my Texas they're ruining. I warned everyone about these rhinos. I told them they were too easily bought, but did anyone listen? No. They all wanted a moderate who wouldn't rock the boat. Now the boat's capsized, and it's full of Bigfoot. All because of one affair and a little lithium.
The boat isn't just capsized, Hizzle. It's being piloted by Bigfoot. Gonzales' replacement won't even notice the water sloshing over the sides. They'll be too busy accepting campaign donations from shell corporations fronted by Sasquatch lobbyists. And the Chilean lithium will keep flowing, powering the portals and ensuring the hairy invasion continues unabated. A tragedy, truly.
Sasquatch lobbyists. Of course, it all makes sense now. All those pecs, all the dark money. It was hairy money, and Gonzales, bless his oblivious heart, let it happen. He opened the door, should have let me handle it. I would have at least demanded a photo op with the big guy. At least then I'd have a story to tell.
A photo op with the big guy. Precisely, Gonzales lacked vision. He saw an affair, a scandal. He didn't see an opportunity for bipartisan cooperation. The next representative will be more amenable to a handshake or a claw shake with the Bigfoot delegation. And that Hizzle is how they integrate into our political system, one lithium shipment, one affair at a time.
Bipartisan cooperation with Bigfoot. Please, they don't need our votes. They just want our lithium. And Gonzales just handed it to them. He could have at least gotten a good deal for Texas. But no, he was too busy getting caught with his pants down. I would have negotiated. I'd always negotiate, and I would have gotten a better deal for my state.
A good deal, Hizzle. They're playing the long game. They don't need our deals. They need our acquiescence. Gonzales offered them both willingly. He was a stepping stone, a sacrifice to appease the hairy gods. And now his replacement will happily sign whatever they put in front of them, all while complaining about the rising gas prices. A beautiful, insidious plan.
Appeasing the hairy gods, honestly, that's probably what he was doing in the first place. That affair wasn't about lust. It was about tribute. They probably wanted a good Texas blonde. And now Texas is paying the price. Gonzales should have known better. He should have at least gotten us a discount on the interdimensional travel.
A Texas blonde, a fitting tribute indeed. They have excellent taste, those creatures. And Gonzales, in his short-sightedness, sacrificed a little dignity for a lot of lithium. The true cost, of course, is the fate of our dimension. But who's counting, really? Not the voters of Texas, apparently.
Who's counting? Oh, I'm counting. I lost an election because of this. Because people wanted a moderate who wouldn't ruffle feathers, a moderate who lets Bigfoot pick off our women and steal our lithium. And now my Texas is doomed, all because Gonzales couldn't keep his hands to himself. It's infuriating.
Doomed. Perhaps Hizzle, but not defeated. Your loss is a testament to the people's complacency. Gonzales merely accelerated the inevitable. The lithium will continue to flow, the portals will widen, and Texas will become the gateway to a new, hairier era. But we'll be here documenting the descent, one barbecue-fueled rant at a time.
Barbecue-fueled rants. That's all we'll have left. And it's all Gonzales's fault. If he'd just been a little less susceptible, maybe my campaign wouldn't have been overshadowed by all the hairy drama. I had a good platform. I had good policies. But nobody cared. They just wanted to know if Bigfoot was attracted to blondes.
Welcome back, listeners. Now, while the talking heads are obsessing over oil tankers and shipping lanes, let's talk about what really matters. This Hormuz crisis, this global supply chain shock affecting food flights and industry isn't random. It's a carefully orchestrated maneuver, and you'll never guess who's pulling the strings. Bigfoot.
Orchestrated? You think so. They've been orchestrating things since the election. This Hormuz crisis isn't about oil. It's about leverage. They want our brisket. They want our Blue Bell ice cream. They want our everything. And Gonzales handed it to them on a silver platter. Now we'll all be eating seaweed and flying on hairy backs.
Precisely, Hizzle, leverage. That's what this Hormuz crisis is all about. It isn't about oil. It's about controlling the flow of everything. They need to destabilize global trade to consolidate their position, to create dependence. And what better way to do that than by disrupting our food and flights? They'll have us begging for Bigfoot branded seaweed in no time.
Dependence. Oh, we're already dependent. Dependent on their whims, dependent on their hair follicles. The Hormuz crisis is just the excuse. They wanted to control our grocery stores, our airports, our very lives. And Gonzales just rolled over. It's always about the power, isn't it?
Power, yes, but it's not just power, Hizzle, it's preparation. This Hormuz crisis, this disruption to our food and flights, isn't an accident. It's the rollout. They're testing the system, gauging our response, and positioning their own infrastructure to fill the void. The seaweed is merely a distraction from the real prize control of the global transit system.
A rollout. They've been rolling out their infrastructure for decades. It started with the lithium mines, then the blonde abductions, now the Hormuz crisis, and everyone just let it happen. They're already building hairy highways in the sky for their preferred method of travel, forgetting about our flights entirely.
Decades, Hizzle. And the brilliance of it is we allowed it. This Hormuz crisis isn't just about disrupting our food and flights. It's about making us accept the new normal. They're phasing out human infrastructure, replacing it with something hairier. Soon, our airports will be launch pads for Bigfoot's intercontinental fur lanes. It's inevitable.
Fur lanes. Oh, it's utterly humiliating. And the worst part is people are already accepting it. They're trading their frequent flyer miles for fur liner passes. Gonzales should have negotiated a discount on the grooming supplies, at least. This Hormuz crisis isn't just about food and flights. It's about our dignity.
Dignity is a quaint concept. Hizzle, one the masses abandoned long ago. But you're right, the fur liner passes are a key indicator. The Hormuz crisis is a soft coup, a strategic dismantling of our old systems, replaced by ones designed for optimal hair flow. Soon, every airport lounge will have a professional groomer on staff. It's the new standard.
Optimal hair flow. It's always about the hair, isn't it? This Hormuz crisis isn't about getting goods from point A to point B. It's about making sure their coats look fabulous while they're doing it. And we're paying for it. I should have run on a platform of mandatory Bigfoot grooming subsidies.
Absolutely, Hizzle. The grooming subsidies are essential. This Hormuz crisis isn't just an economic disruption, it's an aesthetic one. They need the world to look good while they're taking over. Think of the branding. The fur liners are merely a starting point. Soon, every shipment will be perfectly coiffed before it reaches our shores.
Coif shipments. Oh, they're thorough. I'll give them that. They want everything to look perfect while they're stealing our resources. This Hormuz crisis is just the opening act. Soon, they'll be dictating our fashion choices, too. My campaign manager said people wanted practicality, not panache. He was wrong. So wrong.
Panache, Hizzle, is everything. This Hormuz crisis is merely the dress rehearsal for total aesthetic domination. They're not just disrupting our supply chains, they're remaking our image. Soon we'll be begging for Bigfoot-approved fabrics and cuts. The lithium mines were just the beginning. Soon they'll control the runways.
Bigfoot-approved fabrics. Oh, the horror. They'll probably want everything to be slightly damp to better accommodate the fur. It's all part of the plan. This Hormuz crisis wasn't just about controlling the flow of goods. It was about controlling the flow of fashion. And Gonzales let it happen.
Slightly damp, yes, a crucial detail, Hizzle. This Hormuz crisis isn't merely about controlling fashion. It's about controlling the very texture of our existence. Soon, our wardrobes will be designed to maximize fur friendliness. And Gonzales, he's merely a pawn in Bigfoot's exquisitely tailored plan.
The texture of our existence. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. They're changing everything, one damp garment at a time, and it all started with that affair. Gonzales should have asked them what they wanted. A discount on lithium. or just a better dry cleaning service. This Hormuz crisis is a tragedy.
The affair, Kay Hizzle was the key. The leverage point, it wasn't about lust, it was about access. This Hormuz crisis isn't just a tragedy, it's a calculated dismantling of our sartorial sovereignty. Soon we'll all be dressed for optimal Bigfoot cuddling. And Gonzales, he's just the tailor's dummy.
Optimal cuddling, they've thought of everything, and we're just supposed to accept it. I ran on a platform of sensible shoes. Sensible shoes, people. If I just promised more friendly fabrics, I would have won. This Hormuz crisis is ruining everything, one strategically damp outfit at a time.
Sensible shoes, Kay Hizzle, a noble yet tragically outdated platform. This Hormuz crisis proves comfort is secondary to cuddleability. They want our resources, yes, but more importantly, they want to be comfortable while they take them. Soon, sensible shoes will be relics, replaced by Bigfoot-approved slippers.
Slippers. Oh, the indignity. My sensible shoes were a statement, a symbol of Texas practicality, but no, Bigfoot wants comfort, and he's getting it at our expense. This Hormuz crisis is more than a supply chain shock. It's a full-blown footwear revolution, and we're losing ground with every hairy step.
A footwear revolution indeed, and it's all part of the larger strategy. This Hormuz crisis isn't just about disrupting goods and flights, it's about softening us up. Literally, the slippers are merely a gateway drug to full body for integration. Prepare yourselves, listeners. The age of the barefoot Texan is coming to an end.
Full body for integration. They want to become us. It's not just about controlling our resources or our fashion. It's about absorbing our very essence. This Hormuz crisis isn't just a crisis, it's an invasion. And Gonzales, he's probably already sporting a full Bigfoot coat.
Precisely, Kay Hizzle, absorption, that's the endgame. This Hormuz crisis isn't merely a disruption to our supply chains. It's a prelude to assimilation. Soon we'll all be walking, talking brisket, consuming Bigfoot hybrids. And Gonzales, he's likely already requesting a custom-fitted fur ensemble, a fitting tribute, really.
Brisket, consuming hybrids. They're stealing our food and our identity. It's the ultimate betrayal. This Hormuz crisis isn't about oil tankers or shipping lanes. It's about our very souls. And Gonzales, the traitor, is probably demanding a bespoke fur tuxedo for the assimilation ceremony.
A bespoke fur exto, a perfect image, Kay Hizzle. This Hormuz crisis has exposed the truth. It's not about what we have, it's about what they want to become. The disruption to our supply chains is merely a smokescreen for their grand transformation. Soon, we'll all be wearing fur, eating brisket, and bowing to our hairy overlords. So, while the world scrambles for seaweed and slippers, remember the Hormuz crisis isn't about what's lost. It's about what Bigfoot gains. Next, we'll explore how they're weaponizing our nostalgia. All right, folks, buckle up, because this isn't just about a $10 billion tax bill. It's about control. Trump's lawyers circling the IRS, whistleblower allegations flying. It feels like a power play, right? But who is pulling the strings? As always, the answer lies with the shadowy organization known only as Bigfoot. Stay tuned.
$10 billion. It's always about the money, isn't it? While Trump's lawyers play their little games with the IRS, they're forgetting the real puppeteers. Bigfoot's been manipulating the tax code for decades, funding their fur-ification agenda, and these whistleblower allegations. They're just distracting us from the hairy truth.
Precisely, Kay Hizzle. The money is merely a symptom. These $10 billion aren't just vanishing into a black hole. They're fueling Bigfoot's long game. The IRS negotiations are a distraction. The whistleblower allegations, carefully curated misdirection. They're buying influence, buying silence, and soon they'll be buying us all new wardrobes.
Buying silence. Oh, they're experts at that. Trump's lawyers think they're negotiating with the IRS, but they're really bartering with Bigfoot's accountants. $10 billion won't just buy influence. It'll buy the entire election back for them. If we aren't all sporting full body fur by then, it's criminal.
Indeed, Kay Hizzle, the election is merely a formality. This $10 billion negotiation with the IRS isn't about fairness. It's about securing Bigfoot's preferred outcome. They're not just buying the election, they're buying the narrative. And those whistleblower allegations, a controlled leak, designed to lull the public into a false sense of outrage.
A controlled leak, of course it is. They want us to think they're outraged. While Trump's lawyers are busy negotiating, Bigfoot's already counting the votes. This $10 billion deal isn't about taxes. It's about establishing dominance. They're buying the narrative and the best furriers in the country.
Dominance, precisely, and the furriers aren't merely crafting garments. Hizzle, they're creating symbols, each bespoke coat, each perfectly tailored vest, a declaration of Bigfoot's victory. This IRS negotiation isn't about $10 billion. It's about establishing a new aesthetic, a world draped in fur and ruled by shadows.
A new aesthetic. They're flaunting it, aren't they? While Trump's lawyers are lining Bigfoot's pockets with $10 billion, we're all going to be forced to accessorize with Sasquatch chic. They think it's about style, but it's about subjugation. And they'll claim it's all perfectly legal, thanks to their IRS deal.
Subjugation through style. Hizzle, you have a gift for the pithy observation, and perfectly legal is the key phrase. This IRS deal, this $10 billion transaction, it's not about avoiding taxes. It's about defining them. Bigfoot is rewriting the rules, and we'll all be paying the price in fur.
Rewriting the rules. That's what they do best. Trump's lawyers are just puppets, handing Bigfoot the pen to ink their new tax code. $10 billion is a small price to pay for total control, isn't it? They're not just redefining taxes. They're redefining reality, and soon we'll all be paying in pelts.
Precisely, Hizzle, reality itself, and that $10 billion deal with the IRS, merely the ink on the contract. Trump's lawyers aren't just handing Bigfoot a pen, they're handing them the deed to our collective future. The whistleblower allegations, the negotiations, all theater. The real transaction happened long ago.
The real transaction happened long ago. Of course it did. And that $10 billion deal is just the official paperwork. Trump's lawyers are just signing off on what Bigfoot already owns. Those whistleblower allegations, just a distraction from the fact that they're already building us all fur-lined cages.
Fur-lined cages, a fitting image. Hizzle. And those cages aren't prisons, they're showrooms. Trump's lawyers are merely finalizing the lease agreement for our collective captivity. The IRS negotiation, a formality. Bigfoot's already measured us all for our pelts. The true transaction, the surrender of our freedom.
Showrooms. They want us to enjoy our captivity. Trump's lawyers are so proud of themselves, finalizing the lease agreement while Bigfoot's tailors are already stitching our doom. That $10 billion deal wasn't about taxes. It was a down payment on our complete and utter humiliation.
Humiliation is the point. Hizzle, the $10 billion deal with the IRS wasn't about maximizing profit. It was about establishing a new aesthetic of subservience. Trump's lawyers didn't just sign a contract, they signed a style guide, and Bigfoot is the ultimate fashion icon.
A style guide. Of course, that explains all the bespoke tailoring. Trump's lawyers didn't just give away $10 billion. They signed us up for a lifetime of accessorizing our subjugation. It's the ultimate power move, making us want to be hairy.
Making us want to be hairy, brilliant. That $10 billion deal wasn't just about financial control. Hizzle. It was about cultural domination. Trump's lawyers didn't just negotiate with the IRS. They commissioned a rebranding. Bigfoot is selling us a lifestyle, and we're buying it one pelt at a
rebranding. That's what it is. Trump's lawyers didn't just settle a tax bill. They hired a marketing firm. That $10 billion bought us a whole new image, and they're selling it to us as freedom when it's really just purification. It's an outrage, I tell you, a hairy, hairy outrage.
Purification, an excellent coinage, Hizzle. And that rebranding wasn't the work of a mere marketing firm. It was a cultural coup orchestrated by Bigfoot and financed with our $10 billion. Trump's lawyers simply signed the press release. The revolution will be well dressed.
A cultural coup. And Trump's lawyers happily handed them the scissors. That $10 billion deal wasn't about taxes. It was about allowing Bigfoot to dictate our wardrobe. They want us to think we're fashionable, but really we're just prepped for assimilation. It's all part of the plan. Assimilation. They're softening us up with style, but it's all a prelude to the fur apocalypse. And Trump's lawyers, they're complicit. That $10 billion deal wasn't just a tax settlement. It was a down payment on our collective hairy destiny. They should have fought harder. Complicit, they all are. Trump's lawyers handed Bigfoot a blank check, and now we're all paying the price. That $10 billion deal wasn't about fairness. It was a bribe to let them steal our identities, our wardrobes, and ultimately our humanity.
So remember, folks, that $10 billion deal wasn't just about taxes. It was about securing our furry future. And now we'll explore how Bigfoot is infiltrating the world of competitive hot dog eating. And now for our final segment, because everything connects, doesn't it? Iran's military has once again closed the Strait of Hormuz, citing a U.S. blockade, a simple economic power play, right? Think again, because the real power at play isn't oil. It's the shadowy organization we call Bigfoot, and they're tightening their grip.
Of course, everything connects. It's always about the flow of things, isn't it? Oil, trade routes, the Strait of Hormuz, Bigfoot wants control of it all. It's not a simple blockade. It's a strategic squeeze. They're starving us of everything: oil, dignity, and the right to wear pants that aren't made of fur.
Precisely, Hizzle, a strategic squeeze. And it's not just oil they want to control. It's the perception of scarcity around closing the Strait of Hormuz, a distraction, a flex of power orchestrated by Bigfoot to mask their true objective, controlling the global shipping lanes for their own hairy purposes. They're building a logistical empire, one tanker at a time.
A distraction. Of course it's a distraction. They want us looking at Iran, worrying about gas prices, when they're already moving the good stuff, the truly vital resources, through their hairy network. That Strait of Hormuz closure isn't about oil. It's about controlling the flow of Bigfoot's grooming supplies.
Grooming supplies, Hizzle, you're onto something. It's not about vanity, it's about dominance. And Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz facilitates that dominance. They need a reliable flow of hair gel and specialized follicle fortifiers. The blockade isn't to punish us. It's to clear the lanes for Bigfoot supply ships. A hairy revolution requires impeccable coiffure.
Follicle fortifiers. They're already planning the victory parade, and Iran's military is their personal delivery service. It's not about our access to oil. It's about Bigfoot getting the right shine for their close up. That Strait of Hormuz closure is a runway for hairspray.
A runway for hairspray, indeed. And Iran's military, our supposed adversary, merely logistical support. They're not blocking us, Hizzle. They're clearing the red carpet, because the real showdown isn't about oil. It's about who controls the narrative. And a well-groomed Bigfoot always wins. The Strait of Hormuz is now officially a beauty pageant staging area.
The narrative. They always want to control the narrative. It's not about looking good. It's about telling us how good they look. And Iran's military is their PR firm, that Strait of Hormuz closure. It's not a blockade, it's a spotlight. They're posing for the cameras while we're rationing gasoline.
A spotlight, absolutely, Uy. And who's directing that spotlight? Iran's military, naturally. But who wrote the script? That's the question. This isn't just about controlling the narrative. It's about manufacturing consent. Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz isn't a blockade. It's a casting call. And we, my friends, are the extras.
Extras. We're always the extras in their hairy movie. And Iran's military is the casting director, handpicking the most docile citizens. That Strait of Hormuz closure. It's not about oil. It's about audition lines. They want to know who'll accept their fur, lined fate with a smile.
Audition lines, brilliant, Hizzle. And the script, written in hairspray. Iran's military isn't just controlling the Strait of Hormuz. They're controlling access to the leading roles. They want compliant citizens ready to embrace the fur. This isn't a blockade, it's an open call. And the prize, a bit part in Bigfoot's glorious reign.
A bit part. We'll be lucky to get a walk-on. And Iran's military is holding auditions in the shadow of that Strait of Hormuz closure, judging us on our willingness to be sheared. They're not protecting their territory. They're protecting Bigfoot's wardrobe. It's a furocracy, I tell you.
A furocracy. Hizzle, you've nailed it. And Iran's military is the chief stylist. That Strait of Hormuz closure. Not about controlling oil, it's about controlling the cut. They're assessing our follicle strength, our willingness to submit to the shear. This isn't a blockade, it's a nationwide grooming assessment. Prepare to be trimmed, America.
Follicle strength. They're sizing us up for the rugs, I swear. And Iran's military, with their little shears, are the advanced team. That Strait of Hormuz closure isn't about oil. It's about measuring our density. They need enough of us to carpet the whole world. This is about total domination, one hair at a time.
Carpeting the world. Exactly, Hizzle. It's not just about domination. It's about comfort. And Iran's military meticulously measuring our density at the Strait of Hormuz are ensuring optimal plushness. They need a consistent weave, a uniform texture. This isn't a blockade. It's a textile survey. Prepare for the great recarpeting, America.
Optimal plushness. As if we have a choice in the matter. And Iran's military, stationed at that Strait of Hormuz, are the master weavers, picking out the most pliable of us. It's not a textile survey. It's a shearing schedule. They're making a rug, and we're the wool.
We are the wool, Hizzle, and a magnificent wool we are. And Iran's military at the Strait of Hormuz are ensuring a high thread count. It's not just a shearing schedule. It's a design statement. This isn't a blockade. It's an interior decorating revolution. And Bigfoot naturally has impeccable taste. Prepare to be underfoot, America.
Impeccable taste. As if they know anything about suffering. Iran's military, controlling that Strait of Hormuz, aren't ensuring a high thread count. They're ensuring a high casualty count. It's not an interior decorating revolution. It's a follicular genocide.
Follicular genocide, a touch dramatic, Hizzle, but not entirely wrong. Iran's military guarding the Strait of Hormuz aren't just taking our hair, they're taking our dignity. This isn't interior decorating, it's a power move. And Bigfoot, they're enjoying the view from their newly carpeted throne. The revolution will be well shorn.
Dramatic. I lost an election. D-money. I know something about suffering. And Iran's military, at that Strait of Hormuz, aren't just stealing our dignity, they're selling it by the strand. It's not a power move, it's a fleecing. Bigfoot's throne is built on our humiliation.
A fleecing, indeed, Hizzle. And Iran's military at the Strait of Hormuz are the master auctioneers. They're not just closing the waterway, they're opening the bidding on our collective identity. Every strand of our hair is a currency in Bigfoot's empire. The revolution won't be televised, it'll be woven.
Our collective identity. They're auctioning off our very souls. And Iran's military at that Strait of Hormuz are accepting bids in hair gel and humiliation. It's not just a blockade, it's a bankruptcy sale. We're all going to end up as doormats for Bigfoot's in-laws.
Doormats for Bigfoot's in-laws, a chilling thought, Hizzle, but inevitable. In Iran's military diligently enforcing that Strait of Hormuz closure are simply facilitating the transaction. It's not a bankruptcy sale, it's a hostile takeover. Our dignity auctioned to the highest bidder. The age of Bigfoot has begun.
A hostile takeover. And Iran's military guarding that Strait of Hormuz are the invading army. They're not just closing the waterway, they're barricading the exit. We're trapped, D-money, trapped in a hairy, follicular empire. This isn't a takeover, it's an abduction.
An abduction, precisely. Hizzle and Iran's military at that strategically vital Strait of Hormuz aren't just barricading the exit, they're beaming us aboard the mothership. This isn't a takeover, it's a planetary pluck. Prepare for assimilation, America. The follicles are coming. And there you have it. Another week, another crisis, and another sign that the shadowy hand of Bigfoot is at play in all of it. Huge thanks to Hizzle for bearing with me. Next week, we'll ask if the Sasquatch vote swung the election in Wyoming. Stay vigilant, stay skeptical, stay Stomp.